Hi,
Thank you
Blue.
so
Thank
much.
you for joining us
Hi.
today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to meet your Star Trek co-star, Sonequa, a couple weeks ago, and she was
Hi.
absolutely lovely and had nothing but great things to say about all of you that work on Discovery together. So I'm excited we can make this work so I can hear from you too.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. Oh, I'm happy you got to talk to her.
Being that we are the Geek Girls universe, we love to ask people what makes them geek out. So we would love to know what is your favorite fandom or whatever makes you geek out.
Yes. Okay. It would probably be Studio Ghibli for me, for sure. That's
That's a great
my,
choice.
I bet like the top of my bucket list is going to the Ghibli Park in Japan. I want to go so
Oh,
badly. I'm like trying to figure out a way. But yeah, I grew up with those films. I love them so much. I have like all the VHS tapes, and yeah, that's definitely my place.
I love that. I too have the VHS tapes, and I also am like desperate to get over there to see the park. I'm trying. There's so much cool stuff over there. I'm like, I need to
I
get
know.
over there.
it's like a 3-month trip to go to Japan and visit all the things that are just
It's
so
yeah.
cool and on the list. It's crazy.
Yeah, it would take so much planning, but I really want to do it.
Same. So speaking of geeky things, Star Trek Discovery, congrats on the show. I know a lot of people can't believe it's over. When I watched the screening of that episode with Sonequa, like the fans around me were like, I can't believe we're at the end. We're getting towards the end. It's such a great addition, not only to the franchise, but also because of the stories and the diversity and the inclusion that happened with this season and this series. What was it like joining this project and being part of that big step forward for Star Trek?
Really, really exciting. I think like I've always been a really big champion of having as much diversity on screen as we do in our world, and going into this era of Trek and like this chapter where like we have the most diverse show that we've ever had sort of in the history of Trek, I was extremely excited. Also nervous to be like part of that representation. Very nervous, but ultimately no, it was a really huge honor.
Love it. I will say personally, anytime, a TV show or film is inclusive of, any kind of that messaging, right? It's really helpful for us as a society because it kind of encourages, that constructive conversation about change and just being open and, just opens doors to those conversations. In what ways do you identify with your character on Star Trek Discovery? And how do you think that that helps strengthen those conversations?
That's a really good question. I don't know that I'll ever have an experience quite like this one again, but I feel like Adira's story really mirrored mine at the time that I was playing them and everything that we were going through. Um, I feel very, very much like Adira in a lot of ways. But I was the sort of coming out scene to Stamets. I had just come out a few like weeks prior to my parents, my family, and my friends. It was sort of a I was sort of waiting to do that before I could do it as this character. Because when I booked the show, only my two closest friends knew anything. So it was a really big jump to like TV now. It's on TV. Um, so they were very gracious, and we had a lot of conversations, and I was able to take a second to come out to my family and my friends before Adira came out. But that coming out scene was very much close to my own. Uh, and yeah, a lot of my most of my medical transition was while I was playing Adira. So it that huge when I think about this role, I think about probably the most meaningful period of transition in my life. And the majority of that has to do with my gender identity. So I feel very proud that that is out there, and that that is available for people to see and identify with and validate themselves with. It was really scary. It was scary as hell for a second, to be that on show. Uh, but I'm really, really proud of it.
I love that. It's so good. Um, I know it's been a couple of years now, but that photo shoot that you did for Out Magazine with your co-star Ian Alexander, um, the artwork in there, the visuals, all everything about it was stunning. Do you have any more photo shoots like that on the horizon? And if you don't, or even if you did, do you have any designers or photographers that you would love to work with in the future?
Oh my gosh, yes. I love that shoot so much. I still look back at it and everybody else's. Mary Wiseman's photo is the most stunning thing I've ever seen. Um, Yes, I just did a shoot with a photographer that I've worked with before for a Pride gallery. So that's probably going to be out in June now.
June, yeah.
Savannah Ogburn, who's a fantastic photographer, like really, really cool and collagey and campy photos. I would also really love to work with A Class, who's transnormativity on socials. An amazing photographer, really beautiful photographer. Uh, and designers. I my top designer of all time is Yoichi Yamamoto.
Mm.
I would love to wear anything that he's ever made at some point in my life. That's like my dream designer to work with.
Well, we've put it out into the universe now, so
Yes. Yeah,
we're
please.
manifesting things, right?
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
Blue, you're known for being outspoken in the community, in support of transgender by visibility, inclusivity, including the importance of, just accurate depictions in the media. How do you use your work in Hollywood to promote that and its importance?
Um, that's a good question. I mean, I know I want to continue to play I would love to play like cis male characters as well, but I do really want to continue to play trans characters for the duration of my career. I think that not everybody has someone in their immediate circle of friends or family who is trans, and so their main, space to see what that is like is film and television. And when that's not depicted accurately, or when you have someone cis playing trans characters, that does a lot of real world damage. So I want to continue playing trans characters. Uh, I also not great with social media, but I feel a really big responsibility when you have any kind of a platform, which I don't have a huge platform, but I have some, and I hope that it gets bigger in the future, uh, to use it for good and to use that voice because you have a lot of people at looking at you and you have their attention. I feel like you have an amount of responsibility with that. And I hope that my platform grows mainly so that I can grow that amount of people who I have their attention so that what I say and things that I'm uplifting and people's messages and stories that I'm uplifting can be seen.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Super important, honestly. Like that's, I
Yeah.
mean, we fall into the influencer category ourselves, but um, honestly, like it's one of the most important things to me is being able to use what, small voice we have for good, right? You find the people that speak to you to interview, you find the things you're passionate about in life to talk about on those platforms and you use
Yeah.
them for good. So
Congratulations on Trap House. It's
Oh, thank
your
you.
first role since your transition, right? That's what
Thank
I
you.
was reading. So that's awesome, first of all.
Thank you.
So what I know you probably can't talk too much about it because it's very like in production now, right? It's like filming right now. So, but what is it like working with Dave Bautista? I know he's a huge ally for the community and just being on this like big project.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I actually wrapped uh yesterday. I
Oh
had some
wow.
time back home. I just got back home really recently, but I had a really, really, really wonderful time. I can't say anything about the film, but it's almost finished. This is like the last week of filming, and it's a lot of fun. It's very action packed, and I think the story is really beautiful. And I really love the character that I got to play. This is the first like male character that I got to step into, and I'm really excited about that. Um, and Dave, I got to meet for one day. Um, because we didn't have any stuff together, but is the sweetest man who's like also a little bit shy.
Wow.
So kind, went out of his way to like greet everybody to come over and say hi to me and talk to me for a while. Um, is just really, really lovely and kind. Which, like you don't always get. So that was really, really lovely. I think he's very sweet.
Oh, I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Because it's the worst when you're like, somebody sounds really awesome, and then you you talk to somebody else and
And
they're like, well,
then they
Yeah.
stink in real life. You're like,
Yeah. No, he's an angel. He's so sweet.
awesome. So, anything else upcoming projects you can tease about or want to share with us?
I think it just got announced this morning. A film called Blue Balls, which is like a vampire horror comedy, that I'm gonna get to do with Ian. Is I think we're gonna film maybe this summer, but that like just came out this morning, that article announcing it. So I'm very excited for that because that's been like kind of sitting and like, we're waiting for funding and everything for like 2 years almost. But it's such a good script, so I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm so happy I get to work with Ian again as well.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet. I love when I get to obviously work with my friend. It makes things
Yeah.
way more fun.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're moving on from Star Trek. You're doing all these other projects now. Do you have like a big dream role or a director that you would love to work with in the future?
Oh, oh. I, in terms of like dream role, I think I just really want to be on the trajectory of playing like the wonderfully weird and odd characters. I think that's kind of my dream. I sort of love the universes that like Doug Jones has been in. I want to be in those. I want to be in those spaces. Um, I just want to play weird characters. And then on the other side of that, because I grew up in theater and I've done so much like work with period pieces, I really want to be in a period piece on screen uh as a non-binary or trans or male character because there never are any because they are period pieces. Um, but I love them and that's what I grew up doing. And I mean, I grew up with Shakespeare and I did so much work in school and in college around that, and that's what I know. And I would love to be able to bring trans non-binary rep into those shows and films. I think that would be really, really cool.
I think it could happen. I mean, we've got stuff like Bridgerton where they kind of start to blur,
Yeah.
the period like template, I guess, the period
Yeah, that
piece
was the first thing I
templates.
thought of.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I also think you should, do some voice work and then you could be in Ghibli and then that would be like a
That
full
is my
circle.
other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in terms of
Absolutely.
voiceover dreams, that's my, and I think he's making another film. Like he's out of retirement again, which is my favorite thing that now he's twice been like, I'm retiring. Actually, I don't like it. I'm gonna make another film.
Yeah,
But to dub a Ghibli film would be, I could die happy. Yeah.
that would be like as a fan, I know like I would also die. I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to do anything
I'm done. I'm
else.
good. We're finished. Yeah.
Well, Blue, thank you so much for speaking with us today. This was so much fun. We loved chatting with you. Looking forward to Trap House coming out. Looking forward to Blue Balls because A, the name is just kind of funny, but also it sounds like a
Right.
great script. And then also looking forward to tomorrow night's episode of Star Trek Discovery. So
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. This has been really, really nice. And thank you
Yeah,
for really like lovely questions.
yeah, of
we,
course we
if
try.
nothing else, we try to put some thought into them. So
Yes.
Thank you.